Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining me for this full body flow practice. This will be a vinyasa style practice. You may want to have a couple blocks handy and anything else that you would like. So always remember to listen to your body and find variations as you need to. If anything doesn't work for you, opt out, find a variation, just really make it your practice. So let's get started. Come to the front of your mat. You might have a couple blocks there near the front of your mat. And stand in your Tadasana, mountain pose. Ground into your feet. Lengthen through your spine. And just begin to tune into your breath. If you would like to set an intention here, that might be nice. Take a nice full inhale. Exhale through your feet into the earth. And on your next inhale, reach your arms out and up. And exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Keep your spine long here in Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to here. And say hello to those hamstrings. It's better to bend your knees more to keep your spine long than it is to round your back. That can put a lot of strain on the low back. So you can even think of bringing your belly closer to your thighs. That sometimes helps support the low back as well. And then on your next inhale, come up halfway. And then as you exhale, bend your knees, weight in your heels, and come into chair pose. So you decide how much you're bending the knees here. Arms might be at your heart, or out in front of you, or up a little higher. Find what works for you. And then inhale, rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, and exhale, hands to your heart. Take another inhale, reach your arms down and up. Clasp your hands above your head, pointer fingers up to the sky. And then as you exhale, side bend over to your right. Round into your feet, inhale, come back up. And exhale over to your left. Inhale, rise. And exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold once more. Inhale, come up halfway. Bend your knees, maybe hands on blocks or fingertips to your mat. Step your right foot back, coming into a lunge. You might lower your back knee down and bring blocks under your hands if you would like, framing your front foot, or you can just stay on fingertips on your mat. Preparing for some cat-cow lunges. These are some of my favorite ways to warm up. Tuck your back toes, look forward, cow lunge. Exhale, cat lunge. You might drop the back heel, lift the front toes, maybe bend the front knee a little bit. You can keep your spine long or slightly rounded, whatever feels good to you. Inhale, come forward, cow lunge. Exhale, cat lunge. Move with your breath. Inhale, cow lunge. Exhale, cat lunge. And then inhale, come forward once more. Lower your back knee down, release the toes, and set your blocks aside. Come up with your shoulders over your hips a little bit. On your next inhale, reach your arms forward and up. Anjaneyasana. Breathe here. On your next exhale, bend your elbows and open your heart with a ha. That always feels good in the shoulders. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands come down onto the mat. Tuck your toes, lift the back knee, and then step back into your downward dog. Make your way there, whatever way makes sense to you. Bend your knees a little bit. Keep your spine nice and long. And pedal the feet, walking the dog. And notice how this first down dog feels. Ground into your hands and feet. Draw the belly in slightly as you externally rotate the upper arms and ground into the hands and fingers. Maybe pressing into your pointer fingers and thumbs slightly. Lift your hips up and back as you take your heart towards your toes. And then inhale, come forward into a plank. Lower your knees, bend your arms close in towards your body, lower your hips. Release the toes, inhale, cobra. Bhujangasana. Exhale, lower down. Release one arm, then the other by your side, preparing for Shalabhasana, locust. Inhale, lengthen and then lift. Look straight down, draw the belly in, feel the legs activate, arms are active, fingers spread wide, palms towards your body or palms towards the floor. Breathe here. This is a great back strengthener. All the muscles in the back side of the body are working. And then lower your legs, hands under your shoulders, press your way back up into table. Tuck your toes, exhale, downward dog. Lengthen through your spine. Notice your breath. And then on your next inhale, lift your right leg high, three-legged dog. On your next exhale, right knee to right elbow or tricep. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring that foot through in between your hands. Ground the back heel down and rise into Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. Breathe here. On your exhale, lower the hands down, framing your front foot. Come onto the ball of your back foot and inhale, twist to your right. You can also place a block under that left hand if you would like, instantly making your arms longer. Breathe here. On your exhale, lower the right hand down, either using your blocks or fingertips, and step the back foot up just about a foot. Lower the heel, either staying on fingertips or bringing blocks maybe onto the high setting for Parshvottanasana, pyramid pose. Spine is long, core is active. Take that front hip slightly back. Front knee might have a little bend in it. Find what works for you. And then as you exhale, bend your front knee, move your blocks forward either on the high or medium setting, and inhale, lift the back leg into a standing L. And then exhale, lower the foot down, long spine. Exhale, hinge from your hips, forward fold, Uttanasana. Press into the balls of your feet. On your next inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, chair pose. Draw your belly in, weight in your heels. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to your heart. Pause for a moment, notice sensation. Maybe notice any difference between sides, right and left. Move my blocks to the other side. And then inhale, reach your arms out and up. Clasp your hands. And exhale, side bend over to your left first. Keep the side body long. Inhale, slowly come back up. Exhale, over to your other side. Inhale to rise. Exhale, swan dive forward, Uttanasana. Forward folds. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, maybe reach for your blocks, and step your left foot back. Maybe lower the back knee down, framing your front foot with your hands or your blocks. Back toes are tucked, and we'll do some cat-cow lunges on this side. Inhale, look forward, cow lunge. Exhale, cat lunge. Find your variation. Inhale, coming forward, both knees bend, cow lunge. Exhale, cat lunge. Inhale, cow lunge, and that back knee may or may not touch, it's up to you. Exhale, cat lunge. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower the back knee down, release your toes and set your blocks aside. Bringing yourself upright, shoulders over hips. Inhale, reach your arms up, Anjaneyasana. Maybe lift your gaze, breathe here. On your next exhale, bend your elbows, open your heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. And you can also just stay up on your fingertips of your right hand. Sometimes that makes it easier. And step back into your downward dog. Lengthen through your spine. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Breathe here. You might lift the heels and lower the heels. You might pedal the feet. Lengthen through the spine as you ground into your hands and feet. Inhale, come forward into plank. Lower down, knees, hips, belly, or whatever way makes sense to you. Inhale, cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, lower down, arms by your side, Shalabhasana, locust. Draw the belly in, engage your legs. Shoulder girdle is active, arms are active, hands are active. Lengthen and then lift. Breathe here, look straight down, keep the neck long. Draw the belly away from the mat. Lower your legs, hands under your shoulders. Press yourself up into table. And then exhale, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Find your breath. Lengthen through the spine. On your next inhale, lift your left leg high, three-leg dog. Exhale, knee to elbow or tricep. Inhale, three-leg dog. And exhale, bring that foot through in between your hands. Ground your back heel down, making sure that feels stable. And then inhale, rise up, warrior one. Hips are mostly square, and your heart is shining forward. So the hips might not be completely square, but in that general direction. Breathe here. Tailbone going towards your back heel. Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. On your next exhale, slowly lower your hands to your mat. Come onto the ball of your back foot. Option to use a block under your right hand. And inhale, twist to your left. Lunge, twist. Breathe here. On your next exhale, lower that left hand down, maybe using blocks under your hands. Step your back foot up about a foot, ground the heel, and then maybe tip the blocks up on their high setting, instantly making your arms longer. Front knee might have a little bend. Lengthen through your spine. Front hip crease goes back. Draw the belly in. Parshvottanasana. Can also be on fingertips here if you prefer. If you decide to hinge deeper from your hip crease, keep your spine long. Avoid rounding the spine here. And then maybe the blocks under your hands. Bend your front knee. Step forward. Lift your back leg up for standing L. Draw the belly in, press through that lifted foot, and then exhale, lower the foot. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Nice full breaths. Press into the balls of your feet, bend the knees as much as you need to. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, chair pose. Weight in your heels. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, Tadasana, hands at your heart. Breathe here. And then release your hands, and we'll continue. We'll add on a little bit. On your next inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, step your right foot back, lower the knee down. This time Anjaneyasana, reaching your arms up. Lengthen through your spine, lift your heart, lift your gaze. Breathe here. On your next exhale, lower your hands down, tuck your toes, lift your back knee, step back into plank, and this time lower down, knees, hips, belly, come into Cobra, Bhujangasana, or if you prefer, you can do an up dog. And then shift your hips back, tuck your toes, downward dog. Couple breaths here. Inhale, lift your right leg high once again, three-leg dog. Exhale, come forward like a plank, right knee to right elbow or tricep. Inhale, reach it high, three-leg dog. Exhale, bring that foot through in between your hands. This time, rise into high crescent, keeping the back heel lifted, or if you prefer, you can lower the heel and come into warrior one again. Breathe here. And then on your exhale, lower your hands. Inhale, twist to your right. Toe heel that right foot to the right of your mat. And exhale, lower your right hand down on the inside of that front foot, coming into lizard. Pause here. Notice how that feels. And then you might lower the back knee down. You might position your blocks like little arm rests. Or you can have your forearms right on the mat. You can tuck your back toes and lift your back knee, activating your legs, isometrically drawing your feet towards each other as you press the front of your shin forward and your back heel back. So a lot going on here. If it's too much, lower the back knee down and release the toes. You can also take that front knee out to the right a little bit. See how that feels? And then come back into lizard with your hands on your mat. Set your blocks forward. Tuck your back toes, hands under your shoulders. Lift the back knee, lift your hips. Step back into a plank and then downward dog. From here, option to jump forward, or you can just walk your feet forward. If you would like, you can bend your knees. At the bottom of your exhale, look forward and give a little hop, coming into a halfway lift, and then forward fold. This time, inhale, just come up halfway, and then bend your knees and step your left foot back. Lower your back knee down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Breathe here. You can either keep the back toes tucked or released, whichever feels best to you. And then slowly bring the hands down to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift the back knee, step back into a plank, and then lower down your way. Maybe bending the arms, maybe knees, hips, come down to the mat. Inhale, Bhujangasana or up dog or cobra, whatever feels good for you. You might do Sphinx, and then come back through table. Tuck your toes, downward dog. Breathe here, draw the belly in. And then inhale your left leg high, three-leg dog. Exhale, left knee to left elbow or tricep. Inhale, three-leg dog. And exhale, bring that foot through in between your hands. Rise into your high crescent, or again, you could always make that your warrior one, rounding the back heel down. Find your variation. Breathe here. Sometimes this is more challenging to balance. On your exhale, hands come down, either fingertips or using your blocks. Inhale, twist to your left. And then right hand on the mat, toe heel your left foot to the left of your mat, and then lower your left hand down, coming into lizard on this side. Activating those legs, you might lower the back knee or keep it lifted. You might come onto blocks, like here. You might just use your forearms on the mat. You might prefer to be here, with either the back toes tucked and the knee lifted. You might be here, or you might prefer to just stay on your hands. This is another option. I find it really nice to be on my forearms though, because that helps relieve the wrists. To find your variation, legs are active. If it gets too intense with the knee up, go ahead and lower it down. And then again, you might find that variation, letting that left knee go out to the side a little bit. Keep the ankle active. And then bring yourself back up onto your hands. Tuck your back toes. Lift the back knee. Lift your hips higher and then step back into your downward facing dog. Find your breath. Take another breath here. And then again, either walking your feet towards your hands or at the bottom of your exhale, bend your knees, look forward, and give a little hop. Coming up halfway, and then forward fold. Uttanasana. This time, come up just halfway. Bend your knees. And come into a little squat. And then lower yourself down onto your mat. Coming into boat pose. Set your blocks aside. Hands behind your legs. Nice long spine. Engage your shoulder girdle and upper back as if your shoulders are going back and your heart is going forward. Draw the belly in, lift your legs, maybe hold behind your legs near your knees to start. You can also have the toes just barely off the mat. If you'd like, you can lift them a little higher. If you're ready, you can release your hands alongside your lower legs. But if you feel you're starting to sink in your boat, use your arms and hands to pull your heart up towards your knees. Breathe here, Navasana boat pose. This is great for the core. We're going to get another core work in a moment. Hands behind your knees, lower the feet, and then lay down on your mat. And we'll do a few yogic bicycles. So come into constructive rest to start. And then bring your hands behind your head. Lift your feet up, knees over your hips. Keep your elbows out to the side. We want to avoid pulling on the head. And keep your elbows as much as you can out of your peripheral vision. Engage your core. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, straighten your left leg. Take your left shoulder towards the direction of your right knee. Inhale to center, come back to starting position. Exhale, straighten your right leg and a little twist, right shoulder towards the left knee. Inhale to center, exhale, twist. Yogic bicycles. Go at your own pace here. Exhale is when you twist, taking that action of the shoulder towards the knee, opposite knee. Inhale, coming back to the starting position. And you can also keep one elbow on the floor as you're twisting towards that way. And you don't have to lower the head all the way each time. You can just sort of come back hovering. Hands support the head. Go at your own pace. You can do a little for your exhale. Drawing the belly in, engaging the core. And the next time you go towards the right knee, pause and do 3 little pulses. And then again, go towards the left and right. And the next time you go to the left knee, 3 little pulses. And continue again. And then relax. Release. Arms by your side. Pause for a moment. Feet about hip distance apart. And if you were to reach your fingertips, you might just barely touch your heels. Palms up. press into your feet, lift the hips, maybe bend your arms, bringing your elbows close, palms facing each other, fingers to the sky, bridge pose. Press into your feet, lengthen through your low back as you lift your hips, looking straight up. Breathe here. And then lower your hips down. Bend your knees towards your chest, giving yourself a little bit of a hug. And you can either just make your way back up, or if you'd like a little more challenge, hold behind your knees and rock and roll back up to boat. From here, lower the legs down. Bend one knee. Let's take the left foot so it's under the right thigh. Lift your right toes up and place your left hand to the outside of your right foot, near the pinky toe side. Take your right hand behind you and lift your right foot up. You might keep that knee bent. If you're a little more flexible, you might be able to straighten it a little more. Make sure that your left knee feels okay in this position. And we'll come into revolved heron pose or Parvrita Kranchasana variation. Straighten that leg if you can. Keep your shoulders lifted and the heart lifted. Press your foot into your hand. You can also use a strap here. Maybe lift the back arm up, palm up, and come into a twist. Breathe here. And then slowly unwind, and we'll do the other side. So letting your right foot come just about under that bent left knee. Make sure the right knee feels okay. Toes of the left foot up to the sky. Reach your right hand to the pinky toe side of that foot. Left hand might be behind you for support. Lift the foot up. Nice long spine. Start to press that foot into your hand or fingers, and then maybe the left arm reaches up as you twist to your left. Press that foot into your hand. Nice long tall spine here. And again, it's totally fine if that knee is bent. Breathe. And then slowly unwind. Have your legs straight out in front of you. Notice sensation. Take an inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, lead with your heart, Paschimottanasana. Nice long spine, hands where they make sense to you. Keep the spine long, especially if you have any low back issues. Keep the spine long. It's not about how far you go, but who you are when you get there. And then inhale, slowly come back up, and then lay down for your Shavasana. So make sure you feel warm enough and comfortable enough. And just invite your whole body to relax and release. Appreciating everything you were able to do today, even if it wasn't everything you wanted to do. Invite your whole body to be heavy and soft. Relax your legs. Notice your hips, maybe any sensation there. And invite your hips to relax and release. Visualize space between each vertebrae and invite your back to relax and soften. Soften your upper back and shoulders, and let this softening continue down into your arms and hands and fingers. Soften your belly and soften the area around your heart. Let your head be heavy. Relax and release your jaw. Soften the muscles in your face, especially around your eyes, and let go. Gently bring your awareness back to being on your mat. Notice your body, notice your breath, and observe your mind. Whenever you feel ready, begin to make small movements. Wiggle fingers, toes, whatever would delight you. Eventually bend one knee and then the other, and make a thoughtful transition over onto your right side or whichever side you prefer. Pause there for a breath or two. And then when you feel ready, press your way back up to a comfortable seat. And with appreciation for your efforts and your focus, bring your hands together at your heart in Anjali Mudra. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today for this full body flow. I hope you enjoyed this practice. Check out some of the other videos and remember to subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next time on the mat.